So in this video, I'd like to give you a high-level overview of Google Analytics 4, which went live worldwide in July 23. It's a change from the universal analytics that we're all used to, and I just want to give you a walkthrough to show you some of the difference and maybe show you where some of the information is moved to, so you can find it. The primary reason to change the Google Analytics technology and layout is supposed to be that there is better tracking across multiple devices. So if you start your journey on your desktop and then a user continues that journey on the mobile, maybe as they're traveling on a train somewhere, and then picks it up again at home, that in theory that'll all be trackable. So it's the mobility is one of the primary cross-device mobility is one of the primary reasons for doing this. So as a business owner, I'm just going to give you an example of a tourism website called Visit BlackRock and how the stats look on it. So if we go to analytics.google.com, you will see there's a notice at the top of the page, and these will probably start to die off over time. It's just letting me know that there was an old version of Google Analytics that was connected to this domain, and that if I want to opt out on pulling in the old information, I can do that. I don't want to do that right now, but so I'll keep it there, and this will just disappear over time. It's kind of a notice. It's not something that's broken. So when you load the analytics account, what you'll see is a number of windows, little information widgets that appear automatically. You don't have to add them in. Google Analytics will add these in for you. So they are a snapshot overview of all of the information that is hidden on the left-hand menu when you drill down into it. Think of these as the most useful widgets that you might want on your dashboard, and this is called a dashboard. It has a recommendations widget over here. It'll give you some extra information, and you can take the recommendations. These change over time. But primarily going from left to right, top to bottom, this is the stats, the hits, the visits to the site that everybody wants to know. And you can change the time to be, yesterday, today, last 7 days, or whatever. By default, it's last 28 days. I can see, for instance, on this site that the trending for traffic is generally downward. That's not a surprise because this is a tourism website, and as we head into winter, it's going to get a bit quieter. But I can see also there was a big spike here. And I know that spike was related to an event. There was an outdoor event, and that's what that spike's around. I just happen to know that, but that's why this information is useful, that people came to the site to look for information about that event. So we have our users. That's the number of users, new users, because sometimes you have people come back to the site. Event count is when people click on things. So they click on pages, they click on images, they click on videos to download or whatever. So generally speaking, that number is going to be quite high in comparison to the users. That's about a 5-to-1 ratio. So and really what you want is you want that figure to be as high as possible, because it shows that people who are coming to your site are engaging with the site. So I'd really want that figure to be trending upwards, but I understand why it's trending downwards now, because the traffic on the site is trending downwards. As you move over here, this is a live real-time update of the amount of users who are on the site right now, and it's in the last 30 minutes. So this is the closest thing you can get to who's actually looking at the site right now. And it's quite interesting sometimes if you launch a social campaign, you'll be able to see the impact instantly and whether people see that on tweets or posts or whatever. Next item down is a recently accessed widget. So this will change for everybody. It just depends on what you clicked on most recently, and it has it there as a kind of handy, last thing you clicked on in the dashboard. On the left-hand side, then we have sessions. So this is where it gets a bit more technical. What this is telling me is in the last 7 days of the traffic that came to the site, where it came from. So organic search is really Google. That's when people, or it could be Bing, but it's where people searched for something organically. It wasn't paid. It was just organic. And they found your site. So the good news there is that 22%, there's been a rise of 22% of the people who typed something into Google and came to this site. We don't quite know what that something is, but that's what that's telling us. The direct traffic is down, so that's where people knew the website address. They went to www.visitblackrock.ie and they typed it in directly. And organic social is where the social media campaigns posted something, and as a result, people clicked on that post and were brought through to the website. And then this one, the next one is referral. Referral is where your website may be listed on another website, like a news website or some other directory website, and people clicked on that link and were brought here. Sometimes it's quite interesting to try and see where that is coming from. So if I click on traffic acquisition, sometimes you can drill down in and see what sites were directing traffic to your site. That used to be switched on, and now it's switched off. So that's one of the changes that that has come as a result of some of these changes around. You used to be able to click in and see where that was, but you can't do it now. Okay, so that widget that I've just shown you corresponds to one of the sections that's on the left-hand side called acquisition. Acquisition means how did you acquire the traffic? Where did it come from? And this is just kind of a different ways of slicing the same pie, user acquisition, traffic acquisition. And it just basically tells you where the traffic came from and on what days. So if I was running a paid campaign, I'm not at the minute, you'd see it here. And it would tell you how much of the traffic that came to your website is a result of Google ads or Facebook ads or whatever. That's quite important, because when you're spending money, you need to know if that spend is resulting in traffic coming in. I'd also be looking out for spikes. If you know, really what you want to do is learn from some activity that resulted in the traffic going up on your website and repeat that. Now, it's not relevant here because I know this was an event, but if I had run some social campaign or print campaign or TV or radio or whatever, and there was a big spike, well, that means it might be worthwhile doing it again. So learn from trends. Okay, staying on the left-hand side, this engagement tab tells you about having acquired visitors, what did they do? So let's click on Overview. Overview gives me a snapshot of what the engagement data is for the site, and this is telling me how long they stayed in relation to time. So most people stayed about a minute on the site, and the average engagement time is 1 minute. It's almost a minute and a half. That's not that unusual, really. And people tend to think that people spend lots of time on websites, and that figure should be bigger. I can tell you from experience, the average engagement time is around about 2 minutes. People don't tend to stay on the website, apart from news websites where they drill down. They tend to, we're all busy people, so they tend to jump in, find a bit of information that they need, do something, and jump out. So don't be surprised if this figure is lower than you expect. Let's have a look around. So what have we got? We've got views. So those 3.7 thousand views within the, I think we've a monthly, yeah. So up here on the right hand side, this is the time period. So this is the amount of people that viewed it over a month. And then we've page views, session starts, first visit. That's when people just looked at a page. That's when they started a visit on the website. First visit was, so a lot of new traffic there, 814 first visits, and there was scrolls and clicks and all that type of good stuff. So I can see over time it's trending downwards. As I said, that's not a surprise. User stickiness, this is a new thing for Google Analytics 4. It's quite interesting to look to see do users come back and revisit the site. Generally, that would be a good thing if that was trending upwards. So over here is probably the most useful section on this screen, is we're looking at page views and what pages did people actually look at. That's what you really want to know. So they obviously look at the home page. I've got tide times on this website and a map, so it's quite interesting. So maybe I should put maybe a bit more widgets or different things onto this tide time page, because it's one of about 50 pages, but I can see it's the most visited page, so that's a useful piece of information. Then there's a map, places of interest, food, history, etc. So you can make all kinds of decisions based on knowing that data. And then let's just look at landing pages. Landing pages is where people come into the website from elsewhere. They don't always land in at the top page. Now, in this case, it is the top page, but there are pages below that when people Google this site that they're actually landing in on these pages and not the home page. So that's that. And then the last section I just wanted to show you is around e-commerce. This is not an e-commerce website. There's no products or services for sale, but it would show me all the information related to e-commerce and total ad revenue and what total purchase, first time purchase, all that kind of stuff if I was selling products. And it takes time to build that up once you have a shop, but you might be able to figure out what products are being bought, what is the purchase journey. Are people going to the home page, and then to maybe the second level is to view a product and then add it to a basket and check out. So you might see then there's a big fall off at a certain point, and people might get as far as a checkout, and for some reason they disappear, and it'll be useful to try and know that, to maybe mimic the checkout experience and find out if there's a problem. So that's a recap. It's just a high-level walkthrough of Google Analytics 4. And there is an awful lot of data that is available within this. Even if you drill into the reporting on the left-hand side that I've just showed you there, you can go to Explore and you can actually build blank forms that will pull in all kinds of reports. This is the more experienced reporting tool, but you really can drill down into building up loads and loads of reports, and there's templates here that you can use as well. And then there's a whole advertising feature that's in it when you are running your Google Ads, that it connects to Google Analytics, and you can see all kinds of information there. So again, this is just an intro, just an overview of the differences with Google Analytics 4. It does look different. In my experience, the data has been moved around a bit rather than totally changed. So you might just need to poke around to find where you want to find information. The best thing to do is just take some high-level snapshots of information for yourself and make a note of them month on month. Are my visits going up or down? Is my dwell time going up or down? Are people clicking on the same pages or new pages? So, and where's the traffic coming from? Is it international or domestic? Or what's the most effective channel? Is it organic search, or is it Facebook, or are people seeing the website address on a sign somewhere or something like that and type it in directly? So that's just an overview of Google Analytics 4.